Hello everybody and welcome to our very first cooking edition of Ask Alli. Today I'm going to be making some sauteed broccoli with soy sauce. Now this is something that a lot of you guys have requested and I am so happy to make it for you, so let's get started. Now for your ingredients, this is super simple. You're only going to need 4 things. Now the first thing you're going to need is extra virgin olive oil, and I would say you would use about 2 tablespoons to make it for 1 to 2 people. You're also going to need a couple tablespoons of soy sauce. Now I have a lower sodium one here. You can also substitute this with teriyaki or any other kind of sauce that you like. I'm pretty partial to the soy, so I'm going to go ahead and use that today. The third thing you're going to need is 2 to 3 large cloves of fresh garlic. Now the reason I'm using fresh is because I think it tastes better. If you guys are kind of in a pinch and you don't have enough time to sort of mince up all your ingredients and do a really thorough job with that, it's super easy to just go into your local grocery store and find some pre-minced garlic. It usually comes in like a small glass container. And the last thing that you're going to need, and the most important and the most delicious, is some fresh broccoli. So I'm using roughly a cup of broccoli here. Now I'm making this for myself. This works great also as a side dish for 2 people, but I would say if you were going to use it as a more substantial part of a meal, you're going to want to add about a cup of broccoli per person that you're planning on serving. Alright guys, so now that you know what you need and all of the ingredients that you're going to be using, we can go ahead and heat up our pan. So I'm just going to take this bad boy and I'm going to put it on medium to medium-high heat. It depends on how hot your stove is. It really doesn't matter, just as long as the vegetables will cook relatively quickly. Now while we're waiting for the pan to heat up, we're going to start by mincing the garlic. One of the easiest ways that I found to do this is to take a knife that has a little bit wider of a blade. You take the flat part of the blade with the sharp part facing away from you, and you lay your hand across the top of it and just lightly hit down. This will sort of begin to ease the skin off of the outside of the garlic, because I know that peeling fresh garlic can be a total pain in the butt. It gets really sticky and you won't be able to get all the film off. So this is a really easy way to do it before you actually start cutting into the garlic. Now that we have the skin removed from the garlic, we can begin mincing it, and I just like to do this, do sort of back and forth motions with my knife, so you can just sort of let the knife rock back and forth as you hold the tip of it down on the cutting board. You just want to keep doing this until you get really small pieces of the garlic. Now that we've taken care of the minced garlic, I've just put that to the side, and now we are going to take care of our broccoli. So you're going to want to go ahead and just start chopping up your broccoli in small enough pieces that they're bite-sized. It doesn't really matter how big or small they are. Now that we're finished chopping our garlic and broccoli, our pan should be hot, so let's go ahead over there and start cooking. Basically, you're just going to want to add enough olive oil that it will coat the entire bottom of your pan. Now I usually leave it there for about 30 seconds to let the oil get up to temperature, and then I go ahead and I add my garlic pieces. As it simmers, you're going to start to smell this wonderful, wonderful garlicky smell, and that means that you're getting really close to the garlic being fully ready. Go ahead and now add your broccoli. The thing that you're going to be watching for here, because I really can't give you an exact time limit, is for the broccoli to turn a really beautiful dark green color. And just make sure that as you're cooking it, to watch and make sure that it doesn't get too dark or too soggy or brown. You want to make sure you're not burning it either. If you're going to be using more broccoli, let's say if you're using this recipe and adding a few more cups of broccoli for more people, you're going to need to let it cook a little while longer. But again, just watch the broccoli, it'll let you know when it's done. Alright everybody, now that your broccoli is looking gorgeous and green, the very last step is to go ahead and add that soy sauce that we mentioned earlier. And again, you can do any kind of sauce that you would like. I love the soy for this. So go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of that to your broccoli and let that simmer for another minute or so, making sure all the broccoli is evenly coated in the soy sauce. The garlic isn't too brown, everything looks really good, so let's go ahead and take that off the heat. And now that we are done cooking, we have a beautiful finished product. We're going to go ahead and slide that onto our dinner plate. Alright everyone, and there you have it. This is the finished product. It's probably the easiest and one of the most delicious, in my opinion, broccoli recipes you guys will ever try. Best part. And again, like I said, if you want to save time, you can always buy your broccoli pre-cut and washed. You can always buy your garlic pre-minced. And also you can add other vegetables to this. And if you want to have a pot of rice cooking on the side, you can turn this into a super easy stir-fry meal for your family. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of Ask Alli. And don't forget, since this is all about asking me anything you guys have questions or troubles with, please let me know in the comments below anything that you would like to see me talk about for an upcoming episode. I would love to share that with you guys. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Ask Alli. Oh yeah, that was always my favorite part of cooking shows as a kid, was the reveal and the trying it. I'm not gonna stop though, I'm gonna keep eating. I would share, but definitely not enough. Alright, bye guys. Really quickly before I go, I just wanted to mention something that is really touching that I just was invited to be included in, which is so amazing, and you guys can be included in this too. Up and coming country music artist Tae Barton has made an amazing video called Little Giants. There's actually an annotation on screen right now. You can click on that to go and watch her video, and all of the proceeds from the views of this video are going to the Kevin Carter Foundation to help with children's cancer research. So this is something that is a really big deal to us, guys. It should be a big deal to you. Go and check that out. I know it's kind of a heavy thing, but it's a really important thing. And if you do one great thing this holiday season, let it be that you donate to a child in need. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Ask Alli. Bye, guys. Go check out that video. Enjoy.